Crayons, those waxy sticks of color, have been a staple in art supplies for generations. But have you ever wondered where they came from, and how they evolved into the vibrant tools we know today? The history of crayons is both fascinating and colorful. Long before the invention of crayons, artists and early humans used natural materials to create their art. They relied on colored earth, plants, and even minerals to produce pigments. These natural pigments were then applied to surfaces using rudimentary tools. However, these early methods were far from perfect. The materials were often messy, difficult to handle, and not very portable. Artists had to deal with the inconvenience of grinding pigments and mixing them with binders to create usable colors. This process was not only time-consuming but also quite messy, leaving artists with stained hands and clothes. The need for a more convenient and cleaner drawing tool led to the invention of crayons in the late 1800s. The first crayons were a game-changer for artists and children alike. These early crayons were made by combining wax with pigments, creating a solid stick of color that was easy to use and less messy than traditional drawing materials. The process of making these early crayons involved melting wax and mixing it with various pigments to achieve different colors. Once the mixture was ready, it was poured into molds and allowed to cool and harden. This method produced crayons that were not only vibrant but also durable and easy to handle. These new crayons quickly gained popularity because they were much cleaner and easier to use than the materials that came before. Artists appreciated the convenience and portability of crayons, while children loved the bright colors and the ability to create art without making a mess. One of the most significant milestones in the history of crayons was the founding of the Crayola Company in 1903. Crayola revolutionized the crayon industry by producing high-quality crayons that were affordable and widely available. Their crayons quickly became a favorite among children, teachers, and artists. Over the years, Crayola continued to innovate and expand their product line, introducing new colors and variations of crayons. Today, crayons are a beloved art supply for children all over the world. They are used in classrooms, homes, and art studios, inspiring creativity and imagination in people of all ages. From their humble beginnings to their current status as an essential art tool, the history of crayons is a testament to the power of innovation and the joy of creativity. What are crayons made of? The main ingredients are wax and pigment. Wax gives the crayon its shape and texture. Paraffin wax, often used in candles, is a common choice. Pigment provides the color. Pigments come from different sources like minerals and plants. For example, the pigment for red crayon often comes from crushed rocks. These raw materials are carefully selected to ensure the crayons are safe and vibrant. Making crayons starts with melting the wax. This is the first and crucial step in the crayon making process. The wax used is typically paraffin wax, which is a type of petroleum-based wax. It is chosen for its smooth texture and ability to hold color well. The wax is delivered to the factory in large solid blocks. These blocks are then broken down into smaller pieces to make the melting process more efficient. Large vats are used to heat the wax until it turns into a liquid. These vats are equipped with heating elements that can reach high temperatures, ensuring that the wax melts evenly and thoroughly. The temperature is carefully controlled to prevent the wax from burning or becoming too hot, which could affect the quality of the final product. The melting process can take several hours, depending on the amount of wax being melted. This is like how ice melts into water, but with wax. The transformation from solid to liquid is fascinating to watch. As the wax melts, it changes from opaque to translucent, giving it a glossy appearance. This stage is crucial because any impurities in the wax need to be filtered out to ensure a smooth and consistent texture in the final crayons. Once the wax is melted, pigments are added. These pigments are what give crayons their vibrant colors. The pigments are carefully measured and added to the melted wax in precise amounts. This ensures that each batch of crayons has a consistent color. The pigments are usually in powder form and are mixed into the wax using specialized equipment to ensure they are evenly distributed. The mixture is stirred continuously to make sure the color is distributed evenly. This is done using large industrial mixers that can handle the thick, viscous nature of the melted wax. The stirring process can take anywhere from a few minutes to several hours, depending on the size of the batch and the type of pigment used. Continuous stirring is essential to prevent any clumps of pigment from forming, which could result in uneven coloring in the final crayons. Imagine stirring a giant pot of melted crayon soup. The sight of the colorful, swirling wax is mesmerizing. The workers have to be very careful during this stage to ensure that the wax is mixed thoroughly. Any mistakes at this point could affect the quality and appearance of the crayons. The mixture is checked regularly to make sure the color is even and there are no lumps or inconsistencies. This process is important because it determines the final color of the crayon. The quality of the mixing process directly impacts the vibrancy and consistency of the crayons. Once the wax and pigments are thoroughly mixed, the liquid wax is ready to be poured into molds to form the crayons. This meticulous process ensures that each crayon is of the highest quality, ready to bring color and creativity to the world. The melted crayon mixture, now a vibrant liquid, is poured into molds. This process is both mesmerizing and crucial, as it ensures that each crayon will have the perfect shape and size. The liquid wax, which is a blend of pigments and paraffin, flows smoothly into the molds, filling every nook and cranny. This step is essential for achieving the uniformity and consistency that we expect from our crayons. These molds are shaped like the crayons we know and love. They come in various sizes and designs, catering to different preferences and uses. Some molds are designed for standard crayons, while others might be for jumbo crayons or even specialty shapes. The precision of these molds is key to ensuring that the final product is both functional and aesthetically pleasing. The molds are cooled, causing the crayon mixture to harden back into a solid form. This cooling process is carefully controlled to ensure that the crayons solidify evenly and without any imperfections. The temperature and duration of cooling can vary depending on the type of crayon being produced. This step is akin to the way a sculptor might wait for their clay to set before adding the final touches. It's like making ice cubes, but instead of water, we use melted crayon wax. Just as ice cube trays come in different shapes and sizes, so do crayon molds. This analogy helps to visualize the process, making it more relatable and easier to understand. The concept is simple, yet the execution requires precision and care. Once the crayons have cooled and solidified, they are carefully removed from the molds, ready for the next step. This extraction process must be done with care to avoid breaking or damaging the crayons. Workers use specialized tools and techniques to ensure that each crayon is removed intact. The crayons are then inspected for quality, ensuring that they meet the high standards required before they are packaged and sent out to bring color and creativity to the world. Before crayons are packaged, they go through strict quality control checks. Each crayon is inspected for any imperfections, like scratches or uneven coloring. Crayons are also tested to ensure they meet safety standards. These standards make sure the materials used are non-toxic and safe for children to use. Only crayons that pass all the tests are sent for packaging. Now it's time to give the crayons their iconic look. Labels with the crayon's color name and brand are carefully applied. Crayons are then packaged into boxes, often arranged in a rainbow of colors. The packaging helps protect the crayons and makes them easy to organize. Different box sizes and color assortments cater to various creative needs. Once packaged, the boxes of crayons are ready for their journey to stores. Trucks and ships transport the crayons to different locations, ensuring they reach children all over the world. From small local shops to large department stores, crayons find their way onto shelves, waiting to spark creativity in young minds. Crayons hold a special place in many hearts. Their simplicity and versatility make them a favorite tool for children to express themselves. From scribbling their first drawings to creating elaborate masterpieces, crayons unlock a world of imagination and creativity. The waxy texture and vibrant colors bring joy and wonder to children of all ages. The journey of crayons, from simple ingredients to colorful tools of expression, is truly fascinating. Each step, from melting and mixing to molding and packaging, plays a crucial role in creating these beloved art supplies. As long as children continue to dream and create, crayons will continue to hold a special place in our hearts and classrooms, reminding us of the simple joys of color and imagination.